Hi children, very good morning. So previously we were talking about the grammar topic, that is different types of pronouns, and in that one type of pronoun which is also called as emphatic pronoun, I told you. I think you have remembered about that. This is a pronoun which is sometimes the place wherever the changing of the place according to the change of the places. In some places we call it as an emphatic pronoun, and in some places it is called as a reflexive pronoun. I think I have given the description, means the definition for the emphatic pronoun as well as for the reflexive pronoun I have given. So with that, with the support of the examples also, I have started explaining regarding the relative pronoun. Now emphatic pronoun also I will explain, and together I will mix and I will explain about how to identify. So when we come to the emphatic pronoun, where it will come is very next to the it comes very next to the subject. It comes very next to the subject. Then we consider it as an emphatic pronoun. Wherever the subject is there, next to that only this emphatic pronoun will come. But whereas coming to the reflective pronoun, it won't come very next to the subject. Did you understand, children? So here the subject can be, here the subject is nothing but either it may be talking about a name of it is talking about a person or some animal or something it will be talking about. Understood? That we consider it as a subject. Okay children? So with the support of the example, and before that I already told you we do have the pronouns both in singular and plural. If the word is ending with SELF, we call it as a singular pronoun. Singular pronoun, isn't it? If the word is ending with singular SELF, the word is ending with SELF means we consider it as a singular pronoun. Like example I told you, my plus self, myself. He, him plus self, himself. Her plus self, herself. Like this if you go on, you will be having the word here SELF. Here also I wrote SELF. Here also I wrote SELF. That means it indicates we are talking about a singular person. Only about one person. The subject is only singular. Wherever the subject is singular, there we use this self words. Clear children? So in the same manner, if the word is ending with SELVES, if the word is ending with SELVES, then we consider it as a plural pronoun. Plural pronoun. Am I clear children? Plural pronoun. Where do we use this plural pronoun? If the subject is plural, automatically we use this word SELVES, selves words. That means we use a plural emphatic pronoun or plural relative pronoun. Reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun. Okay. Like example, our plus selves, ourselves. Our plus selves, ourselves. Them plus selves, themselves. Them plus selves, themselves. In the same manner, your plus selves, yourselves. Your plus selves, yourselves. That means we use wherever the subject is in plural form. Am I clear in that? Wherever the subject is in plural form, we should use this emphatic pronoun or reflexive pronoun in the plural form. If the word is ending with ourselves, themselves, yourselves, means this pronoun is in plural. Okay children? So along with the subject which is in plural form, for that we use this plural, reflexive or emphatic pronoun. Okay? This is clear. Plural and singular is clear now. Now, where to use this another, that I am going to explain. So, reflexive pronoun I told you, it won't come very next to the subject. It won't come very next to the subject. If it comes next to the subject means, then we consider it as an emphatic pronoun. Okay? Now let us come to the examples. I, myself. I, myself solved this problem. Solved this problem. This is the statement I have given for you. So, some difficult problem has been given. Problem in sense it's not like a solution. Mathematical problem this is. Okay children? I myself solved this problem. So here you can see what is I? I means subject. Who solved this problem? When you put a question, you know how to identify the subject, no? When we put a question, who or what, we will get the answer. Who solved this question? Or who solved this problem? Then the answer comes like this. I. Then I is considered as the subject. Did you understand children? I is considered as the subject. In this sentence, I is the subject. Means we are talking about me. Okay. Next to the subject, you got the word myself. What I wrote here? Emphatic pronoun I have given the previous video. In that I have given the emphatic pronoun the clear definition. But now a short and simple definition I have given, that is very next to the subject it will come. Very next to the subject it comes. It comes. Very short and simple method to remember it in your brain, to feed it in your brain. I have given this one. Okay children, very next to the subject it comes means here this is the subject, very next we got it, that means this pronoun is called as an emphatic pronoun. Emphatic pronoun. Is it clear children? So we ourselves dragged this ladder. So a big ladder is there, nichana. Let's remember nichana. A big ladder is there. We ourselves means 3 or 4 children are there. So what they are doing? Who dragged this ladder? What is the question I posed? Who dragged this ladder? Maybe it was a very huge one. Maybe that is made of iron ladder. Maybe it is an iron ladder and it is very huge in size. So I was surprised and I asked a question. Who dragged this ladder? What is the question I posed here? Who dragged this ladder? Okay, then I got the answer we. Short and simple answer we. We here is the subject. So that's what I told you here. When we pose a question who, the answer comes. That particular word we call it as a subject. So here also we posed a question who dragged this ladder means you answered like this. We dragged. We. So we is the subject. Very next to the word we got ourselves. Ourselves. So ourselves is the emphatic pronoun. Ourselves is the emphatic pronoun. Is it clear children? So one more thing. Here I means it varies from person to person. So we according to the sentence we have to take it as a singular and plural. According to the sentence we have to take it as singular and plural. So here I is singular. Here I is singular. So very next to the word myself we use singular pronoun. Singular pronoun. Is it clear children? Just before this I told you singular and plural pronoun. Here we, subject we is plural. So here ourselves is also a plural pronoun. Understood? Any doubts? No? If you are having any doubts, you once play this video, you will be able to understand. So slowly if you listen this. Slowly I am explaining, but even though if you are not comfortable, you can listen again and again. Okay children? I myself solved this problem. This is an example statement. So in this, when we come to this statement, who solved this problem? Here I told you, very next to the subject. Very next to the subject it comes. If you are not able to identify the subject, you don't know what is an emphatic pronoun. So how to identify the subject? or a pronoun. Understood? So that particular word will be considered as a subject. That particular word is called as a subject. So here when I pose a question, who solved this problem? How to pose a question? Yes, you may have it out. So who or what? Next to the subject, you have to use the verb. Understood, children? Whatever the verb is being given, with the support of that you can form a question. So here, who solved this problem? I posed the question like this. Who solved this problem? Then I got the answer, I. So I is the subject. So very next to that, we got the word myself. This myself we call it as an emphatic pronoun. Understood, children? In the same manner, here I means it is singular. So myself is also a singular emphatic pronoun we used. Here, we ourselves dragged this ladder. Here also I posed a question using who. Who dragged this ladder? Dragged is a verb. So who dragged this ladder? So we got the answer we. So we is the subject. But here we means it may be 2 persons or 3 persons or 4 persons, more than a person. More than a person. So that we call it as a plural pronoun. Okay, children? So we is a plural pronoun. So here we have to use emphatic pronoun which is in plural form. Ourselves. Ourselves. Okay, children? Clear? Self means singular, selves means plural. So how to identify a subject? It is clear. Very next to the verb, very next to the subject, the word came is either emphatic pronoun or not. How to identify also I told you. How to frame a question with the support of a who and what also I told you. 3 things have been solved. Identifying the subject, and second thing is whether the subject is singular or plural, and usage of the emphatic pronoun in singular and plural. This is clear now, children? Okay, now let us come to the next example. Means till now I told you with these 2 examples with the support of a pronoun. Now in place of this one, if I remove this one I remove the word I am using a name of a person. So instead of this one, I used a name of a person. Seema dash solved this problem. Seema dash solved this problem. So here emphatic pronoun we have to use. Either we have to use singular or plural, or which pronoun will come, that also you have to understand. No? So listen. Seema, who solved this problem? What can be the question? Who solved this problem? Again we got a question with who solved this problem. The answer is Seema. Seema is subject. Am I right? Seema is subject. And Seema means only one person. Only one person. Okay, so that means this is singular noun. This is singular noun. That means next to this, whatever we use, we should use the emphatic pronoun which is a singular. Okay, children? We have to use the singular one. Means the word which is ending with S-E-L-F. The word which is ending with S-E-L-F. Self word. Now what to use? What to use? You may have a doubt. So here, Seema means she is a girl. Isn't it? Girl. So when girl comes, what we have to use? I told you we have to use the word her. Did you remember? Did you remember the pronoun what will come? Her or she. 2 pronouns will come. So she we use generally in the beginning of the sentence. Here when do we use she? We use she when we are starting the sentence. But here we are not starting the sentence. So we have to use the word her. Her. And it is singular, so we have to add self. Her plus self, herself. Did you understand? So Seema herself solved this problem. So in place of a pronoun, if we use a noun, how to write? I explain. Clear, children? identify both. This is an emphatic pronoun. This is a relative pronoun. Reflexive. Sorry, I'm always saying reflex instead of this reflexive relative. So here let us come to the examples like this. So based upon this, I give you one exercise also to do at home. Okay, children? Rohan can tie his shoelace, his shoelaces dash. I gave a pronoun like this. I gave a blank like this. Annie and Rima. Annie and Rima bought new clothes. Bought new clothes for dash. I'm erasing this one, so I'll write the example. One more example here. Annie and Rima bought clothes, new clothes for dash. One more. The situation dash has gone from bad to worse. From bad to worse. From bad to worse. Madhu gave the lecture. Madhu gave the lecture in front of. This place is not sufficient. Okay, then. Now let us go with these three examples. So here, what pronoun will come? As usual, first thing is you have to identify what the subject, and then you have to write either emphatic pronoun or relative pronoun. Let us come to this first one. Rohan can tie his shoelaces. Rohan can tie his shoelaces. Here, who can tie the shoelaces? What is the question you have to pose? Here, to identify the subject, you have to pose a question, because why? This always you are telling with the word why. What? Sorry. Who? You may ask a question. This always who is the question you are using. So I will try to use another question also. What also? Rohan can tie his shoelace. This is the statement being given. So pronoun. Which pronoun we have to use? To identify that, first you should identify the subject, isn't it? Who can tie his shoelaces? Here the answer comes Rohan. So Rohan is the subject. This is clear for you. Have it? Rohan is the subject. Rohan is singular noun because only one person. That also it is clear. Second one also clear. Here Rohan is identified as a subject and it is a singular noun. And the third thing is Rohan means he is a boy or a girl. Boy, obviously. He is a boy. So three are clear. Three are made clear. First one is identification of the subject. Second one is whether it is singular or plural. And third one is identifying the gender. Whether it is a noun or whether it is feminine or masculine or or neuter. Which type of gender you have to identify. That is been identified. Okay. Now coming to the next one is which Rohan means boy. So obviously we should use either he, him, his. Any of these three pronouns we have to use. Okay? Any of these three pronouns we have to use. And I clearly mentioned he and she we should use when we are starting the sentence, beginning of the sentence. So this is not the beginning of the sentence. So just leave it. Just leave it. Okay. Next. Did I tell you when I have given the examples like singular and plural? In that did I tell his self? Is there any word I told you like this, his self? No. So this is also wrong. That is his is also we should not use. Okay. Now what is that? Him. So add him plus self. Him plus self. Himself. Is it clear? So Rohan can tie his shoelaces himself. So he is not needing any support. He is not needed any support of his parent or brother or whoever it may be. He himself can do this part of the work. Clear, children? How to write this? Now, subject. Did we get the blank next to the subject? We have used at the end of the sentence here. So by this, it is not next to the subject, so it cannot be an emphatic pronoun. It is a, yes, reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun. Clear, children? It is not next to the subject. If it comes next to the subject only, we consider it as an emphatic pronoun. Okay? So it is not next to the subject. That's why we consider it as a reflexive pronoun. Clear? Coming to the second one. Coming to the second one. So here this is Rohan is the subject. Second blank. Let us look at this one. Annie and Rima bought new clothes for dash. Here also again the question comes like this. Who? Why? Because always mostly we use who because for persons, for human beings, for persons or like this, we generally use the word who. For persons, we generally use the word who. For things, we use what. For things, we use what. Clear, children? So Annie and Rima bought. Here we got two. Who bought? What is the question we used? Who bought new clothes? Who bought new clothes? Then here we got a big statement, Annie and Rima. Annie and Rima. Here we are talking about two persons. It can be a male or a female, both are girls or both are boys. Keep that a secondary. Which type of gender it is? Keep it aside. But both are nouns, plural noun. Isn't it? So we got a question like this. Who bought new clothes? Who bought new clothes? So here the answer is Annie and Rima. So this Annie and Rima is subject. Okay? Annie and Rima are subject. Okay? And here we should use when this pronoun comes. We have to use, for example, when we write this, replace this noun subject with any pronoun, then what do we use? We use the word they. How can we read it? Instead of Annie and Rima, we can replace with they. We can replace with they. How can we replace? If we want to write the entire sentence into a pronoun, then how we can replace? We can replace with they. They bought new clothes for dash. So whenever you are feeling the word coming like the pronoun is they, we have to use the pronoun or reflexive pronoun or emphatic pronoun themselves. Themselves. So plural, so we have to use selves. Whenever they comes, we have to use them. They comes means them. This is a common rule. They comes means my. I means my. We comes means our. We comes means our. Like that we have to use. So Annie and Rima bought new clothes for themselves. This is also coming at the end of the sentence. It is not used next to the subject. So that's why this is also called as a reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun. Okay children, it is not used next to the subject. Coming to the next one, last sentence. The situation dash has gone from bad to worse. Here, the situation means some situation. It is not indicating to a person or a place or animal or a thing. That means it's completely associated with the incident. So incident means we have to consider it as, we have to pose a question with what. Understood? What has gone from bad to worse? Just now I told you usage of who along with that what also will try. So what has gone bad to worse? What has gone bad to worse? Then here we are saying the situation. The situation. That means the situation is the subject. The situation is the subject. So here subject, it is subject but it is not indicating to a person. Then we have to use it or its. We have to use it or its. Okay. So here along with it, situation is about only one incident we are talking. So we have to use the word self. It is a singular noun. Singular noun. That's why we have to use it plus self. Itself. The situation itself has gone from bad to worse. Is it clear children? That means here next to the subject we got this pronoun. So this is called as an emphatic pronoun. Emphatic pronoun. Clear children? So here next to the subject we got, that's why we call it as an emphatic pronoun. Hope you understood very clearly. So we will meet you again in the next class. Bye.